Yeah, some of these people were dancing. I appreciate it. I hope you were dancing wherever you're watching from. Hi, guys. Welcome to Kensington Live. We're live at 6:30 instead of 7 o'clock tonight. We're doing Kensington Live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And today we're doing it at 6:30. I'll tell you why. Because, everything got canceled. And so I was supposed to be performing in a very big, my final concert with my chamber choir at the University of Utah tonight, and we're not, obviously, and so we're meeting a little later. So I said, I want to do Kensington Live still too, so we got to get that done, and then I'm going off to there. So that's why, why try and hide it? Wherever you're watching from, you can be watching from Facebook through Kensington Theater Company or through YouTube. Wherever you're watching from, I say this every time. So those of you who watch every time, because I know there are lots of you, there's quite a few watching right now. If for some reason something happens, this is live. Stuff is going to happen. If for some reason Facebook goes out like it did one time, or if YouTube goes out, go to the other one. So if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go to Facebook. And then wherever you are, you can comment on Facebook or YouTube. You can comment in below the video and let us know. We want to hear any questions that you might have for the people that are going to be on the screen. Also, any stories. We're talking about 6 years of TBC, Teen Boot Camp, and we're also talking about Pippin tonight. And so there's lots of people that you could be watching and you were part of a year of TBC or Pippin. So we want to hear your stories if you have a funny story or something that you want these guests to talk about. So put it in the comments. Also, if you haven't been watching and haven't been keeping up with us, you can watch all of the Kensington Live on both Facebook and YouTube. They're on both. You just have to scroll down. So just go back and watch. We have had a lot of fun, a lot of cast reunions. We had Improvinators on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. If you have not seen it, you should go watch it because it's a good laugh. This week, we're going to be doing West Side Story reunion on Thursday night and Improvinators again on Saturday. So come back, 7 p.m. both nights, Thursday and Saturday. Come back and join us for some fun. Yeah, we got some comments coming. Oh, I know. I was supposed to do choir too, but everything. I know, but that's why we're doing Kensington Live. We're trying to add some levity, some laughter, some connection to familiar faces that you might not be getting in the quarantine because hopefully you're staying home and staying safe. My last thing, I've said it every time, is and you can dance. Everybody backstage, be ready to dance. We're all in this together. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, there are some people dancing. Okay, yeah, we get it. Okay, we're all in this together. So every Kensington Live, I have been challenging people to reach out to just 3 people. We reach out and make sure that they're doing okay. You can just text them, call them, whatever. It doesn't have to be the same 3 people every day, or it can be the same 3 people. But let's just make sure that we're all doing okay. These are crazy times, and everybody's coping with it differently. So will you reach out to 3 people and just make sure that they're doing okay? All right, should we jump into it? I'm gonna bring on first the minds behind TBC. We have 2 of them today. It's a special feature, double feature. I'm not included in that double feature. All right, first Tony and Lydia. Tony and look who's here!
Hi, TBC, my favorite people ever, and Pippin.
I love TBC Pippin, so it's all there.
Yeah.
I love that Erin is with us because it's been Tony and I just going through. So I love that you're here, Erin.
Thanks, Logan. Thanks for doing this.
So
I just want you to know I'm wearing my TBC hat. One year we used it, but you can't see my face. I'm gonna take it off. So just know it exists.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts.
Right.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
So I want to first talk about TBC in general, and we have some people here that have been in TBC 4 years. Is that right?
5 even. We've
Even
got
5?
We've done it 5.
Okay, so we have some TBC, truly some TBC alumni with us today, and but I want to talk about TBC, and then we'll transition to Pippin because that's its own other beast, and we have lots to talk about there. So first, either of you can tell us about how TBC kind of got created, and what was the vision behind it, and that first time, what what were the challenges? What went well? What didn't go well? How'd you learn from TBC? Either of you.
Well, it kind of came from your generation. We did Les Mis with you guys, and we didn't realize that neither me or Aaron, we both directed Les Mis, and we didn't realize how cool the teens would be. I mean, that sounds really bad.
I realized. I know.
No. We just didn't know how much. I don't know. I think the adults were getting a lot of the attention at that time. Mm-hmm. And you guys, I'm gonna just turn. It's bugging me that my face is like halfway lit.
You're such a.
It's all about the lighting. Anyway, and so your generation was like, we want to learn more. Like, we want to be better actors, and they wanted an intense program. And so Aaron and I, we thought, well, because we both had, I had Michael and Andrew and Lydia at the age, and she had Abby. And so we thought, hey, you know what? Let's really think about this, because I had done something at East that we basically based TBC on. And I had also done something with Into the Woods where we did workshops before we actually did the play. And so we kind of combined those two ideas into TBC, and we just made it this really killer intense thing. And sorry, my nephew's getting his mission call. Where did he get called to? Oh my gosh, Argentina. People can still leave the country. Good. Congratulations, Connor. Anyway,
live.
anyway, so we birthed this thing. We got all the kids thing. Aaron and I spent, God, how many hours did we spend? We auditioned the kids, and then we spent.
I don't even know, but I think we were delirious until it was. I can't remember if it was 2 a.m. when we were.
No, that
was the second. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we just wanted them to be challenged and to do things they hadn't done before.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a long time, a lot longer than casting a show, I feel like. Don't you, Tony?
Oh, for sure, because we had them come. What happens in TBC is they audition, and on the audition form, they put 3 of their dream roles they've always wanted to be a part of. And so after they audition, we take all those parts and we try to pick at least one. Sometimes we don't, and then we also pay attention to the seniority, like how old they are. And then we create this whole education program around their auditions. And it was really cool, but man, to juggle, everybody's in an acting scene, everybody's in a musical theater scene, everybody does like 4 or 5 ensemble scenes. We have a vocal scene, we have dance scenes. It's just.
And classes.
Well, yeah, but so we have all that, and the classes are the easier part because we get all that ready, and we have to get it to them at least a month before we open, because they have to come memorized. And then the workshops we did after. I think Logan, actually, you did one of the workshops the first year, did you not?
I did.
Yeah, William too.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah, and Ariane did yoga, if I remember right, as well.
Oh yeah.
So
and then building the script is like having a baby.
When we give it to the kids, it's very, like having a baby. Like, please take care of this. Don't cry about it, or we'll beat you over the head with it, because
it's a long time. And we're always in another show at the same time, like rehearsing and teching or whatever. So it's good times.
Yes, we are. But it was super. I mean, we love TBC. It's so great. And you said, what were the problems? Honestly, there weren't a lot, because we had based it on 2 really successful programs. And so it was actually very seamless, very, very seamless. And some of the problems we did have were just like growing pains, not even growing pains, but we figured out, like, for example, a lot of the kids were in choir with Harriman, with Mr. Thorpe. And so we figured out a way so that those kids could do it too. And it ended up being a really great flexible schedule anyway. So it became good for us and good for the kids who are in choir. So it's just fun.
I think the first year was just the first time that we learned how hard the work would be for the kids that first week, when they get really tired and their feet hurt a lot. And we hadn't seen the arc of the whole program. You had, but I hadn't. And so watching them adapt so fast to that kind of rigor was a really cool thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
And even
it's intense.
Where we had extra time, so you could plan a practical joke for me.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that's
I need the girls in here. Do you want me to tell you about that right now? Should we bring in some of the TV? I just need, like, give me, Lydia, come over here. She was one of them. I just need 3 girls, or how many we can fit in here, right? Whoever
It was the best prank
I'm on there.
Yeah, and Abrielle maybe. Abilene wasn't one, so hi,
Hi, Abilene.
That prank was so funny. Yeah.
Abrielle, were you in the first year?
Oh no! Excuse me, my AirPod fell out. Anyway, what did you say?
Were you in the first year?
Yes.
You were right. You were at the ballet.
You all were, right? April, you were too?
Yep.
Yeah, I joined. But I was
All
there.
right. So we were all in on this. Now Lydia was just a baby because we had extra spots. And so we pulled in Clayton Sharp, Lydia, and Joff to fill the extra spots, but they were the 8th graders going in 9th grade. So they were babies, but they still got to do. That's why Joff and Lydia got to do 5 years. But okay, do one of you want to tell the story? I've been talking so much. Anybody want to tell it?
This is the most serious thing ever.
Okay, I remember. No, it was just funny. We were doing thinking you were somehow here again.
Wishing you were somehow here.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we were doing it from Phantom, and the boys were doing a dance number. So theirs took a lot more time than ours took.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is the girls, we were kind of done. And I'm like, girls, I really don't have much more to do. And so I'm like, what if we took this this really beautiful song, and I just
You ruined it forever.
well, don't talk. Hold on, woman. So what happened is we took the girls and we made it into this like borderline melodrama disaster. So that Aaron couldn't so Aaron couldn't really tell if it was on purpose or if we did it like we really meant to do it. So it was this super overacted drama song. Can you guys remember any of the faces or anything that we did? I remember.
I know Abby did a dove.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
Super overacted. It was on the border.
I know. We were clever, Aaron. We're clever.
Very.
Anyway,
Abby's team lift was over the top.
it was so great. So the best part of all of this, okay, so we prepared this. That's all we did during class that day because we didn't have anything else to do. We bring in Aaron to watch it, and we're all serious. We're like, Aaron, this is so good. We're so excited to show you. Here, sit right in this really great spot. And, oh, we can't wait. Are you ready, Aaron? Okay, don't cry. You know, we're like setting her up.
Yeah.
Aaron watches the whole thing like this.
I thought I would have to find a new theater company. That's
And then I'm like, Aaron, what did you think? And she's like,
oh, no. I stood up and clapped. Really?
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, that was so great. Because I thought it was real and I had to act. I had to lie. I had to lie to them because I love them so much.
I'm frozen like that.
I clapped.
Oh my gosh.
Then second, it crumbled. You're right. Go ahead.
Didn't we just all like cackle after she said that?
No. You kept it going. It was a long time, but I didn't know. And Tony was just like, well, what? Then she starts asking me questions. Well, what did you think? Well, what did you think about this part? And I'm like, well, and she said, do you have any? Tony, you're frozen. Do you have any advice for us? I'm like, well, maybe it could be a little more subtle. Or something. For a second. I think
Yeah.
You're frozen.
Bad.
Dead.
I'll do the
That's all
I'm getting on.
I'm gonna take Tony out. Maybe that will.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
and then you guys laughed at me, right? And then I almost cried. I don't remember. Tell me.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I remember it happening, but it was so long ago. Yeah.
It was so good. You guys were so good at being almost bad, but not so bad. And I honestly lost my mind. Like, I thought I was going to have to take Abby somewhere else and our lives were over.
Didn't we have like a move in one of the verses where like there was a beat between the music and we all went,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that part.
Yeah.
And you had lots of breaths.
Yeah.
Like that.
And we would like lean on each other's
It was honestly
shoulders.
one of the most terrifying moments of my life.
It was.
because I thought it was real. But hey,
Yeah.
Was that the
Sorry,
only prank we ever did?
I consider
I don't think that's the only one we ever did. I feel like we pranked you more than once.
really?
Didn't we try to prank you? Or we tried to prank Tony?
We tried to prank Tony and it failed, and we need
Yeah.
help.
What did we do to her again? Oh, we all
Don't-
decided to go
not-
back away from lunch.
We acted like we bailed on her and we left and we didn't help clean up or something. And she's
Right.
like, don't prank her. I even tried to ask the Beardens. I tried to ask funny people like to help me, and it didn't work. So
Because remember, we were all hiding at the playground while she was striking, and she's like, "Where are they?"
yeah, it didn't work.
No.
But I charge all of you with the task of figuring out a prank to get Tony back from my.
We'll get her. We'll get her.
Yeah, you know what? It was a dumb prank, Aaron.
It was terrifying, Tony.
We ended up-
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Sorry, we had to get on Lydia's phone because my computer's like freaking out. But I just want to say this. I'm better at funny pranks. You are better at sentimentality because Aaron was the cutest that first year. You know, you do so much work, and the kids don't feel bad about this, but you know, you're just a director. You expect it to happen where they just kind of forget about you. You know, that you did all this work, they just forget. So, Erin, I took all these photos, and she had taken the kids, and they were in the hallway, and they had a sign that said "Thank you, Tony" on it. Yeah, it was so cute. So when I was looking through my photos, I found this really, really sweet picture of all the kids. And so Erin is fantastic at being super sweet and sentimental, though. She beats me at that.
I remember that photo.
Yeah. Logan, you should have it. Would you like to put it up now?
Yeah, it was like
I emailed it to you.
Oh. What photos? I might already have it up.
Thank you, Tony.
We're in the
we were
hallway.
all holding
Little
signs
picture
in the hall.
Yeah.
Oh, my-
Oh,
Look
yeah,
how
I
little-
remember this.
Baby cutie.
Oh, my skin was so bad.
Oh, I love you all.
Look at Joff in the back.
Oh God.
I think you can barely even see his face.
They are.
John, you got a little rosy cheek.
Just this is Joff's face right now. Okay, so I was gonna whoa, here I go. I do this every show. I come in and out of it. I want to know. Okay, so we'll just do the three that are on. So let's start with April. Then we'll do. Whoa, how'd you switch, Abriel and Tony Lydia? I don't know how you switched. And then
We're magic.
I know magic. I don't even know how that happened.
Switch what?
You never mind. It's okay. So let's go April, Abriel, and then that. Well, yeah. Let's yeah, that's fine because what I want is just tell us how many years you were in TBC. What year you started TBC? How many years you were in TBC, and then maybe your favorite memory of TBC. Okay, so let's do April Rose, and then let's do Abriel because that makes more sense in my head. Okay.
Okay. I have been in TBC 4 years, I think. Let's see, 15, 16, 17. Was 18 Pippin?
14. It's
17
14's the
is
first
Pippin.
year.
14 was the, wow, okay. 14, 15, 16. Was 17 Pippin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 years. 4 years. And my favorite memory would have to be from the first year because I tell Aaron and Tony this multiple times that I give all my happiness, everything that I've learned has come from TBC. Like the shows that I've been able to do the past couple of years, I'm just like, I don't think I could have gotten to that without them and their help. The first year we did Steel Magnolias and we had this scene. It was me and Catherine. And I remember being terrified because I didn't know anything about acting and I did not feel confident at all. And it was a very serious piece. But Tony was really patient with us and she worked us through it. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like I felt a lot of love from her on that and it helped me feel more confident. And I fell in love with theater through that year of TBC and that led me to do the other years and learn multiple things every year. But I always think of that moment because it was just a huge turning point for me. And
Well-
Eric taught me how to sing.
While we're on that first year, I'll just show some pictures.
Oh.
Well, just a side note, April, that was the second year. I don't know if you knew that.
Was it really?
But, yeah, Still Magnolias was the second year.
Okay, I don't remember the first year very well then.
How about this? This was the first year.
Oh,
my
I didn't have a scene the first year because I was added in late.
That's right.
Yes.
God.
I had the solo in Wishing You Could Hire It Again. That's what my thing was.
I think 2015 is where we really got, because we were able to cast around your talents that year.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. That was so fun.
All right, Rose.
Okay, I was in TBC 2014, 2015, and 2017 for Pippin, and I can't decide between two moments, so I'll just go do both of them quick. So the first one is that first year when we did Steam Heat. Just the entire learning of the dance and performing it was so fun. I remember because Tony like kind of decided later in the process that we were gonna do it. I think maybe not.
It was the night before. I was finishing Newsies, and I was researching other dances, and I'm like, you know what? This is so easy. I just really want to do something super hard. So that morning, I'm like, if you guys finish Newsies today, I'll spend the rest of the week teaching you something cool.
Yeah, and we worked so hard to finish Newsies, and then like Steam Heat was super hard because like none of us had ever done Fosse before, but like I just remember it being super fun and super vigorous, and ended up turning out so cool. So that's the first one, and then the second one is during Pippin. I just loved doing the whole what's the song called? Bertha's song. It was just so fun choreographing with the boys. I remember being really sad that I wasn't in the other song with all the girls, but then once I had that whole moment where we were working on that scene, it made up for it because it was just so fun. There wasn't something specific about it, but it was just like a really fun song and dance and everything. So.
And you looked amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, and we'll come back to Pippin. But don't you worry.
Good.
Okay.
All right, Abrielle.
So that first year, I just loved the first year in general because we were all like, I don't know what this is going to be, but it's going to be fun. And so Tony did this Wheel of Emotions thing that she had never done with any of us. It was like this new thing. And that just kind of flipped my perspective on acting emotions. And then second year, we did Positive from Legally Blonde, so that was a good time.
I'll never forget your performance in that one.
I worked really hard on it.
I know.
All right, Lydia. How many years did you do it?
I did it 5 years. That's a long time. I did it every year except this past year because I was too old. And I was in BB. But oh man, there's so many memories. I don't even know how you can expect me to choose one memory out of like 5 different years. But I think like a group of memories that I liked the most. What was that?
We couldn't read it. What is it say?
Aaron,
Alice. Oh, Alice.
Oh,
yeah.
Alice and Mia Land.
Alice,
Oh my gosh, I actually forgot about that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's way up there. I loved Alice. That one was scary though because for anyone who didn't see Alice,
That was 2016.
Yeah, but anyway, it's this dance number choreographed by Mia Michaels, and it's pretty much there's a long table with a rolly chair and me on the rolly chair and everybody throwing me around the table. It was a little bit terrifying, but I think I learned a lot about trust during that. Like I had to just trust that they weren't going to throw me off the table. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, that's probably way up there.
That was a good one. I mean, because in TBC we want to teach classes and stuff, but the actual performance things they do
are all based in like theories, different choreographers, different acting theories, different types, things to challenge them. So they're not doing just ordinary, just regular like community theater. Like we wanted intense theater. So I think one of my favorite comments when they go to college is, college is so cool. It's like TBC every day. And I love that.
Well, okay, so what was that, April?
Except for no ladders. Ladders was the worst punishment. Being late.
Oh,
That's right. There was a discipline. If they were late or they did something they weren't supposed to do, I would treat it like boot camp, and they'd have to do laps or ladders. But you know what?
The planks were the worst.
Yeah, they would have to plank. Anyway, the beauty about it though is there was it wasn't negative. Like people just knew, I'm late, give me my punishment, I'll do it, and we move on. Nobody was yelling or getting really mad. Well, there was a couple of times, but
Even like you try not to shame it, you tried not to shame each other, and it was just part of it. That's just what happened.
Yeah, it's so great. So great.
Well, I was gonna say, and maybe while you guys are up, and then we can switch to some other people. But first, Tony and or Aaron, tell us about how you go through the process of deciding what scenes, what shows, what songs you're going to do, what all that for TBC, and then talk about maybe casting. You already said that you tried, but talk about casting to their their talent or what they're good at, what their skills, or maybe pushing them in another area where they're not as good.
It's so fun. It's so fun. Anytime you guys want to grow up and be on production team with Tony and she lets you, do it. Putting together a puzzle and how everything fits together, and you move things around and you're like, no, yeah, no, yeah. And then you put these people together and they have to be romantic, and it's super entertaining for us. And then, so I think that Tony is brilliant at this, and the only reason I know how to do it at all is because of her and doing it with her, and she lets me learn on the job. But in the auditions, you often see like a moment of something that kind of sparks an idea, and sometimes it's almost more fun when you've known the kids for a while and you've seen them perform in other areas, but then they do like cock their eyebrow, or they do a little smirk, or they do some kind of a note that you've never heard before. And for me, there's the little glimpses in auditions that happen that are the seeds for what we do later. But Tony has all these things in her head all the time. All year she has ideas going around like on our spreadsheet, and sometimes I think I'm just a sounding board where I'll say, well, I'll just throw stuff out, and she's like, no, because of this and this and this, they need this and this and this. And she just understands people really well. And she has a vision for what they can do, and she's always right. That's one of my favorite parts about the art of TBC, is to see the kids get the script and go, what the heck, on something, right? And not know what the show is, or not know what their featured part will be, or how it's going to work, and then watch them come to love it, and then watch their parents watch them shine in ways that they never have before. And we get to see it the whole time, and we're in our little rehearsals freaking out, and then I'll run into her and go, oh my gosh, wait till you hear the I Love You song or whatever. And then I come back out, and it's just, the process of it is beautiful. But we love like discovering things in you guys and throwing them at you, and then watching you just be amazing. That's how I feel.
I forgot about that song.
I know.
How can you forget about that song? Oh my gosh.
So much to remember.
I think when you're casting too, you look for, it's your responsibility as a person directing people, especially, you could say especially children, but adults are the same way. You want to, everybody has this child in them that you need to take care of, but you also need to push. You need to push them past their comfort zone. Like April talked about Still Magnolias, and April's very comfortable with music, but she wasn't as comfortable as acting at that point. And she did something where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see a genuineness in her that I need to put her in a serious scene and let her grow in that respect. You know, where you just see little teeny things, or you see things that are their strengths that they don't get featured. Like one that I loved Abrielle in was Cats. She did Macavity.
Macavity!
Yeah, but it was so great. But even Rosie in just what she was cast in as Pippin, because Rosie, I don't feel like Rosie gets a lot of the light that she could get, and her Bertha was just so perfect for her because it highlighted her in all her quirkiness and all her genuineness too. Like if you saw it, she was super sweet with Pippin. And so I don't know, I'm always looking for those little pieces of people, what they're really good at, and where I can see sparks of things that I want to fire in them.
Yeah, and I would agree. Like Sarah says, yes, the what the heck or the two oh my gosh moments every year. Yeah, I would agree that you go in there and you're like, oh yeah, I know TBC, and then you come out and you're like, I had no idea that that person or this person or that person could do any of the things that I just saw them do. It's amazing.
There's a chord.
I mean,
I love it.
Right, and especially because they're teenagers. But my goodness.
Well, like, can I share one more moment that I just remembered that she's gonna be here tonight? Amberly. Her getting to incorporate her sign language. She signed right before that.
Yeah, she did. That's why I chose it. Yeah.
Okay, because that was such a cool thing to watch with having her put sign language in this monologue and being able to help her backstage and get her mentally prepared for that every night. Like it was just, I don't think I expected that.
Did you yell at her or something? Well, what's funny is in you know, just because I mean, theater education is my major. Like, you know what I mean? You know all these different methods and different things to do it. And so different actors need to be handled in different ways. And Amberly didn't respond very well to just technical blocking. And so I'm like, oh, you're a method actor. I see. Okay. So because she had this wall she couldn't get past to like be genuine, be vulnerable and with the audience. And so I said, okay, you're a method actor. Then let's do something to you. So before she went on backstage, I told everybody to shun her. Don't talk to her. Don't look at her. Don't do anything with her. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so she would come in and she was ready for that part, but it worked for her because that's how she needed to do it.
Yeah, I love that. Here, Adria says, TBC and TBC Junior has changed my outlook on theater so much in the greatest way. I have learned to be a harder worker and learner. Thank you, Tony and Aaron. I love that. Or, Mary watched this first show of TBC and was so sad she didn't do it and waited up till midnight the next 2 years. So,
yeah, New Year's Eve was always all about TBC.
Yeah, because there's only 10 spots for girls. So the girls had to fight for it. The boys, we begged to be in it. They're so dumb.
Yeah.
Got that job.
here, let me why don't we do a tour day TBC and then we'll bring some more people on? How about that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we already looked at some of the old pictures.
Oh.
We're gonna put some other.
I love that picture.
This was I think.
Oh, I love that one now.
Oh, I love that. Rosalind.
So good.
There's Spencer's in that one.
Let's see.
Oh, Brittany.
Rookie.
Logan, yes.
Oh, look at you. Is that when we did one from Chorus Line?
Yeah.
16, right, Tony?
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
2000.
right. There it is.
Oh, look how cool you are. Oh.
That
That's
was
the
the year I
2016
wasn't in it,
cast.
and it makes me sad.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
That's a year we did it. We had 1 week. We did 2 weeks in 1
That's
week. So they were there
right.
from 8 to 11 o'clock at night.
That's right.
Oh my God. Right. Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
But it was easier to memorize lines because you were there all day long. So you could just
There
spend
they
good time preparing that.
I don't recognize any of them.
Who are these children?
That's last
I
year.
see Abilene.
Wait. Remember shit.
2019.
Abby Berry.
2018.
Yeah, that's 2018.
Okay. Wow, now I feel really old.
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
grandma.
Aw.
Uh,
That's 2018 too.
That's not the same color as our first year shirts.
Yeah, the first year shirts.
Check me out for a second.
We recycled.
There's only so many colors.
Aaron and I were so excited when we got to the 5th year, or the 5th year, because we're like, we can finally recycle scenes.
I don't think, did I see that year? I don't think I saw that year. I'm sad now.
Oh
I have it on video. If
You
wanna
should.
see it.
I will forever be heartbroken that Pippin didn't get filmed. But anyway.
We might have surprises for you.
all right, so we're gonna switch out. Let's go to some other people, and then we'll get into Pippin.
You, Logan.
My dorm. We'll come back. Stay on with us. Okay, I'm bringing on Abilene. And Dallin and John.
Hello, everybody. Wow, my favorite people.
Abilene, you are muted. I can't unmute you.
We can't hear you.
Unmute you.
I'm a silly goose.
Hi guys. Okay, so you guys heard me. You guys heard me ask the other people. So I want the same question or same answers, I guess. How many years you were in TBC? And then your favorite moment or moments from TBC. Let's start with Joff. Why not?
Okay. I was in it. Bam.
Okay.
5 years. World record holder. Co-world record holder.
Yeah, co.
I said co.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite moment, I don't know if it's my favorite, because that's a lot of years, and that's like, I mean, that's like 15 weeks, you know, of TBC to rifle through. So I'm gonna say one of my favorites is the first year. I think, was it the first year that we did Into the Fire?
Yes.
Yeah, the first year, none of us were like thought that we were prepared for that song. None of us thought we could do it. Every time we left the rehearsal room, like after the first maybe 3 days, we were like, these harmonies are impossible. There's no way we can do this. And then just seeing how in the blocking and in the music rehearsals, Tony and Aaron like just helping us the whole time, never being like, why can't you do this? Or, you know, like they do it on the recording and it sounds great. Like, what are you doing? There's never any of that in all of TBC, and TBC like taught me so much more about everything off stage as well than it did on stage. But especially Tony and Aaron in that moment, just only helping us to get it, and then I think we nailed it at the end. So.
Oh, you did.
It was great.
Yeah. All right, Dallin.
All right. There's so many good moments. TBC was just the best. I think one of the best moments for me, just two quick ones, was the first year I did it. Some of the guys, we played Dungeons and Dragons, like when we weren't doing anything. The most random things, but it was just so fun. I had never done that with like a group of guys or felt that bonded through two weird things, musical theater and Dungeons and Dragons. Great. And that group continued like 6 months after that. We still met together always. And then the other one is in TBC 2018. Tevin came and visited, and the girls and Tevin had this cute talk. And us guys were like, why can't we do this? We were so upset. We were like, we feel left out. So what we did was we created our own kind of like choreography to the song Cooties from Thursday. And we created it for the girls, and then we performed it to them. And that was just so fun because we had so fun group choreographing this number. And it turned out really fun. And I think the girls liked it. They enjoyed it, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Dallin
So
definitely took the reins on that choreography, though.
Oh, it was a group effort.
It was amazing. No, that wasn't a bad thing. It was amazing.
Thanks.
So
All
good.
right, Abilene.
So probably one of my favorite TVC moments is a Dallanterio moment.
and it was watching Hard to Be the Bard. I can't even explain to you how much joy watching that brought me every single time. It was so funny, and all the boys, it's just this very silly focusography because boys, but it was the best thing of my entire life. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. And then probably another favorite moment was watching the I Love You song from backstage. Oh my word.
Yeah.
That was really good. My heart.
Yeah. That is one of
Yeah. TBC
okay.
is pretty cool.
Yeah. TBC is so cool.
Or doing Moaning Myrtle. That was actually kind of crazy.
Oh, you were so good at that.
I was just about to say, Abilene, that is one of my favorite theater moments of ever was watching you do Moaning Myrtle. So, like I said before, you go into TBC and you're like, okay, cool, TBC, and then you walk out and you're like, I'm not as good as any of these teenagers. Goodbye. And then
yeah.
Well, you know what's fun about it is even creating it, like, because I teach all ages and stuff, is TBC is one of my favorite things to direct because I get to do really hard things and it challenges me as a director. It challenges me in my choreography. Like when we did like Bollywood, you should have seen them moan and cry and whimper. But when they did it, oh my gosh, if you saw that Bollywood number, it was so much joy.
It was amazing. Do it.
I don't.
I don't know.
But it was hard.
It was
so
hard.
But I agree with you. That's why I like doing TBC as well, is because it's more like voice lessons in the music rehearsals, because we get that scheduled time that they come in and out of, and then we can adjust it. And that never happens in a play like that, where you get so much attention on everybody.
Yeah,
and it's delightful.
Definitely. Erin taught me how to sing in TBC every year.
Thanks. And then you got really amazing after.
I think Tony and Erin taught all these people how to be great. So when they win their Tony Awards, real or fake or not fake,
coming
Tony Award, I should remember to thank Erin and Tony. So.
Thanks.
You know what's awesome is just these kids were willing to work hard though. Like Erin and I had ideas and we had vision, but if these kids didn't come so willing to work hard and wanted to be better, it would never have worked. And so they just came in. I cannot tell you what a delight every single year of TBC has been. I love TBC.
But I think it made other casts better as they would come back into the other shows, because they really personified the vision that you have for a unified cast who loves each other and takes care of each other. That happens in TBC so well. And then these kids were such leaders as they would go out and model it for the younger kids, that it made our theater company better by starting this program and by staying in it. That's what I think.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt. Yeah. Okay, so here. I like that.
That was really funny.
That was so fun. That year of TBC, all the characters that you gave me, Tony, thank you.
That was your swan song, man. That was your swan song.
So fun.
Yeah.
I know Lydian got you too. Oh, I love that.
Oh, I know her hair.
I changed my mind. That's my favorite TBC moment, is watching Gotcha. Oh my gosh.
With Trenton too. Oh,
yeah.
Thrown in at the last minute.
Yeah.
It was
Nathan heard that.
fun though.
We got to talk about Pippin though before Logan leaves, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna. Let's transition to Pippin, shall we?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna take some of you off, but you'll be back. Hold on.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Jeff. Okay, so you two tell us about. I'll tell my back. Lydia, you can stay. I don't care. I remember back before TBC began that Tony, you talked to me and a few other people about like trying out something that would then become TBC. So I remember us talking about it, and I remember in that meeting you going, "There's a really fun show called Pippin," and I was like, "I have no idea what Pippin is," and you were like, "Oh, let me tell you all about it." So you told us all about it, and then you're like, "Would that be fun? Could we do it in 3 weeks?" And I'd be like, We were like, I don't know. And then a few years later, here we are with Pippin. So talk about deciding on doing a whole show for TBC instead of just a review, and then maybe challenges of putting on a whole show with limited time.
Well, what the idea was behind it is TBC is really great, regular TBC, because everybody shines really equally. You know, the seniors shine a little bit more than the freshmen, but it, you know, pretty much everybody gets almost the equal amount of attention, though.
Right.
But it's not really how theater works, though. Theater works where you take a play and you are a character within that play, and you take that character from the beginning to the end. That is a true theater experience. And so we wanted the kids to understand, no matter what part you're given, how do you take a part and make it, you know, awesome through the entire thing. And of course I wanted to pick one that was a strong ensemble. Pippin, like you said, it's one of my favorites. I love Pippin. And so the kids were really great too, because most of them didn't know what Pippin was. They just came and they just did it. They had no idea, but now they're all in love, I hope, with Pippin forevermore. In fact, I can't tell you, at least 2 or 3 times a year, I'll get one of the Pippin cats going, can't we remount that? Can't we do Pippin again? Please let us do Pippin again. And so anyway, we brought it back, and I asked Aaron, and I would talk to the TAB too, the Teen Advisory Board, and we're like, what do you think about doing a show in 3 weeks instead of TBC? And they're like, I don't know. We're like, let's just try it. I love that about our company is, you know, well, let's just try it. Let's see if it works. And so it was really funny, though, the experience. Pippin was fantastic, phenomenal. It worked. It was genius. I wish I would have known how popular it was going to be, and I would have made it run for a whole week after that, because it was so good. But the funny thing is, the old TBCers were like, I miss old TBC. And the new TBCers are like, what? This is amazing. Why would you want to do it any other way? You know? And so the consensus was, we want both. And I'm like, you guys are going to kill me and Aaron off. We can't do both in one summer. That's crazy. Anyway, so that birthed Pippin. And I mean, we had, seriously, I don't know how to explain this to people. Like, I truly believe everybody is talented. It's just a matter of how hard you want to work, right? How willing you are, how much we can get them in a place to take risks and to love themselves, to trust themselves. And so we only had 17 kids. Like we actually did auditions, only 17 came. And those 17 were the ones that were in it. And we freaking did Fosse. Like, it was Fosse choreography. It was not an easy show. Vocally, it's not an easy show. And dramatically, it's not an easy show. It's not an easy show. And that's what we wanted to, was something to challenge them. But these 17 kids were stunning. So stunning. They were everything. They were the perfect formula for creating a great show. And like, I mean, when I think about like Garrett Ward, who, you know, he's just, I just don't dance, or Chase Belknap, you know, they just were dancers, but they did Fosse, and they did it really well. I was so pleased with the entire cast. Oh my gosh, let's see Pippin. Let me eat Pippin tonight. So good.
And I think also they were surprised with how much they could relate to the story, the allegory of Pippin, and what it can teach kids that age, and all of us, really. It was very impactful, and I think the audiences were surprised with what it taught them too. And that is a tribute to Toni and how she tells the story, and also how the teens take her story and connect it to the audience, it's just such a great experience, which is why we keep coming back, because that's why we all love art.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Should we watch the trailer?
Oh my gosh, please.
All right, we're going to try something new for showing videos. So if this fails, it's my fault, okay, everybody? You know, because it's just, I didn't want to cut it into 3. Come on, I don't want to do that. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
They showed me crimson, gold, and lavender, the shining parade. But there's no color I can have on earth that won't finally fade. When I wanted worlds to paint and costumes to wear, it always was here. never was there. It never was there. No, it never was there. Never was there.
That was amazing.
I had to mute us, or else they wouldn't hear. Okay, so should we? I'm trying to get out of this so I can see back to you guys. Should we bring on? Let's bring on Joff. Hi, Joff.
Hi.
And well, yeah, let's have Joff talk for a second, then we'll bring on some more. Okay, so Joff, talk about Mr. Pippin. How was your experience? Because you were perfect as Pippin, if I do say so myself.
Thank you.
And so honest, and I mean, apart from being talented and whatever, but just like this whole show was so honest and like feel good, but then also like this is amazing. What am I watching? This is so good. So talk about.
Thank you. Well, it was definitely a dream role. Tony introduced the show to me when I was probably 12. Like in her theater class in 7th grade, I think, is where I first heard of it. Maybe it was TBC, because we did Fosse. So that's maybe the first TBC. But I fell in love with it immediately. And Tony's been telling me since I was like 14 that I am Pippin, that like that I'm Pippin, you know? And I kind of denied that and resented it for a while. And then doing the show, I learned he's not like, I mean, one, she was right. Totally Pippin, 100%. And it's always been a dream role because of that. And I don't know why I didn't just accept that. But doing the show helped me accept things about myself because Pippin did. You know, Pippin was able to accept that there's extraordinary in the ordinary. And the world doesn't have a definition of extraordinary or impactful, and you get to decide that. I think that's what Pippin learned. And I think that's really important.
That's beautiful.
I'm trying to see. Oh, here you go. Annie says, this is, I assume, the only show that Joff has done that I missed. I'm still so mad about it. Yeah, it
was good.
You should be, Annie.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite role I've ever done. This and
I hate to rub it in your face, but you're right.
Oh, thanks, Isaac.
Aww.
Yeah. Should we watch Joff sing?
Yes.
More footage. We got lots of footage to burn through, people.
From where?
What? I don't know.
The hidden vault.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're opening the Kensington vault for Kensington Live, and
yes,
we got some good footage. All right, this is Joff. Make sure
but these are all rehearsals, just so you know.
Don't sue us.
Everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. So why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly.
Could you guys hear it? I couldn't hear it.
I could hear it.
Oh, unfortunately.
I'm so sad we couldn't hear it for some reason.
I'm sure it was beautiful though.
It was
I
quiet.
really like your vibrato, Joff.
What?
I really like your vibrato.
Thank you, Aaron. Talking to you.
It's Aaron vibrato. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I want you to know when we costume Pippin too, because I was the costumer too. That was kind of fun. And he actually had a Pippin shirt. He's like, I've got a Pippin shirt if you want me to wear it. I'm like, oh, sweet. So the Denial Pippin had a Pippin shirt.
Yeah, it was gray. I mean, I was out of denial before you knew I was out of denial.
Good. Good.
That could be said of many things.
Let's bring on some other people. Let's do Let's do
Evil.
and
My evil mother. My very sweet grandmother.
All right, so
Sweet and hip.
so talk about doing Pippin. You two have.
Round.
Oh,
I keep all of them, Tony.
I love it.
You should. Those are like Bibles for theater people.
Especially the TBC ones because they've got all the songs and monologues.
Yep.
I never have to do any work.
Yep. Amen. Good job, girl.
I love this. I remember rose-colored glasses and silky green pants.
You all have to look right now?
I don't remember the glasses, but
You don't?
no.
Oh.
But the cost. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
There.
were green. Yeah. But the costume was great. I remember like the day Tony brought out that costume because she was like, "Well, you're gonna wear this like cloak thing," and it was like embroidered and beaded and stuff. And then underneath it, she like was like, "Well, you can wear this, or if you can fit into this," and pulls out that green jumpsuit. And I was like, okay. But it was like so exciting too.
I don't know. See if I can get my computer working again.
We can hear you.
You look so good, Rosie.
We're just gonna
Wait, you can't hear me?
No.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
Now you
it made the character, I think, the costume.
You were so good.
You were.
Thank you. Thanks.
Didn't we get to all sit in the audience and like dance with the audience during that number or something?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony had like
were singing
people
something.
come out so that at the part where I say like join in everybody or whatever it was, so that the audience knew that they could actually join in.
Yeah.
She had like some of the actors in the audience.
It was amazing. I loved that number.
April.
This show scared me so much. I wish we could do it again now that I have a little bit more confidence in myself. Because it was just, I was not I did not see myself as a frustrata in any way. And so, which is why it was good for me to do it. But like, I was not good at like owning all these people and like everything with Frustrata. It was just terrifying, but it
you did though.
You did.
You totally killed it.
Yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite moments of you as Frustrata, like I loved you as Frustrata. You were perfect. You did such a good job. But you and Aaron played around at the very end of your song. And you did this lick. And I could not believe it. You did like Corner of the Sky.
Yes.
Oh. It was so amazing.
I was deceased. I died on the spot.
You remember you put the melody from like themes from the song in the lick, and we tried to see if you would notice it.
It was a little extra. Oh, she's spilling herself. I was just looking through my script, and I remember a very distinct moment when we were like in the actual show with an audience, and I had this one paragraph that wasn't even big of lines, and I completely screwed up the words, and I just went blah, 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 blah. I remember that. And then I was like, what did I just say on? And I started the whole thing over, and it was the worst moment of my life.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember. It was awful.
Everybody has to have that moment once.
And Trent didn't save me. He just looked at me like, it was great, great.
Out of yours.
Sorry, we're switching.
Can you hear us now?
They're summoning something in there.
You know, I really feel like we go to In and Out after this.
Oh.
Sorry, that was awful.
Yes.
Thank you, Abby.
Neighboring cars.
Aw, thanks, sis.
Sister.
Oh, that's a cute picture.
You were so good. You were excellent. I'm so glad you believe in yourself more now because it's so funny. I think it takes people about, I don't know, a year or two to catch up with how other people believe in them.
Oh, yeah.
Like I knew you could act when you were a freshman, and you know you can act, now that you're out of high school kind of thing. But it's just about, I don't know.
Well,
I'm so glad you caught up with our faith in you.
Thank you.
I was there when she made the leads in Wicked cry. Her acting made them cry. And I texted Tony.
Oh.
Yeah, she did tell me about that.
Because
was insane.
she was the only person in that whole master class who caused that effect on them. It
Sounds
was,
about right.
it was the most
Cry all the time.
April,
Should
you're
we
the
watch-
most talented person I know.
Should we watch some more Pippin?
For what?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Please.
Let's watch this
I
one.
can hear it.
I'm so
Where do these come
excited.
from?
I knew.
That was so good. That was
I'm
so
so
good.
sorry Kevin isn't here.
No, that's what I was just about
Call
to
me
say.
that number.
Somebody has his number.
We need
Well,
Tevin.
yeah, he's so great.
Cool about Tevin.
Tevin did it for 4 years.
Yes, and when we were getting ready for auditions for Pippin, the script was in the male tessitura for leading player, but obviously the score's been rewritten for female, and Tevin can sing them both.
And he was amazing.
Either because he has no limit to his range, and in rehearsals he would just flip back and forth between them, like
Aaron, the script we had that was written for the man.
That's why I said male tessitura.
Oh, I thought you said that you was between the female and male.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, and it was written, and then Tevin just decided to do all of the other runs that, yeah, I mean,
So good.
it was so good.
He was fantastic.
So
In fact,
good.
you have, can we just do it all already because we're talking about Kevin?
Yeah.
Can you do Glory?
Yep.
Good. What do you have?
Steel is cold as moonlight. Steel is sharper than sight. Sharper than sight. The touch of bitter winter white.
God.
Can I say something about that song?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember not just me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the cast hated that song during rehearsals.
That's
Every time we had to rehearse it, we were like, "Oh, Glory," and the quick changes and everything was just a mess. But when we got to performances, it was like one of my favorite songs, just because it turned out so cool with Tevin and everyone. And yeah.
Well, it was so
You're
great. And Kevin,
You're blocking. Oh my God.
it was so good. Well, and Kevin was, like, you know what I mean? I have like visions of plays, but I always think, how would I do it, to make it be the way that I see it in my head? And it was so important that Tevin just wasn't a bad guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that he could come off and have this, genuineness about him. So at the very finale, I never could film the finale, even in the preview. These are all from the preview, these little clips.
Yeah.
But the finale, I couldn't film. I just felt almost disrespectful of it because I didn't want to interfere with how amazing it was ever with my camera clicking or anything. So I have like nothing from the finale. I have a few pictures, but I didn't film it at all because it was so beautiful. But when he was pleading with Joff to, maybe I shouldn't spoil the ending for you guys, but the argument between him and Joff was so perfect. Like, it's just what I wanted it to be. And these kids are 17. It was so good. So good.
It was, I don't think we were breathing during that whole interchange. I think collectively it was just silent and the audience didn't even move or breathe.
And I love it. I mean, the whole Pippin, for me, is the whole story depended on that ending being done so gracefully. And he did it. Dallin was, where's Dallin? He was so good.
Oh, he was so
I was thinking about it.
Theodore.
Me too.
What's his name? Theodore?
That
Theo.
scene is the only time that I've actually like sobbed on stage.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't.
I was just gonna
Like,
say that.
okay, here's where we are now.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking, and I'm sitting on the side watching it happen, you know. And that's the first show that's ever like I've been on stage and like been crying about what's happening in front of me, and like you're in it, so you don't think it would hit you because you know it's a show, you know, because you're in it. But
You know, it's
Yeah.
interesting. This cast had probably one of my harshest moments because they were playing a game on stage. Do you guys remember that?
Was it past
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The penny?
Pass the penny.
Yeah, they were playing Pass the Penny, which I just think is so insulting to theater to play a game on stage. And so these guys came back from lunch wanting to play this game. And I'm like, did you guys just drop a penny? Are you seriously playing a game instead of focusing on this beautiful show? It's during Morning Glory. Morning Glow. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And so we had this strong talk. Like, it wasn't like hateful or mean, but it was very stern of like, if you want to do TBC, you will not bring this on my stage. You will be there and you will support that character in every inch of its story. And these kids rose to the occasion, and man, they committed to the story. And when they did, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I know it. I remember.
Abigail in the comments is like, that was me. I dropped it.
Yeah.
But do you know who started it?
It was a learning
I don't
experience.
remember that even happening, honestly.
I didn't know it was happening either.
I knew just because
I was
it's a
involved.
game that came, at least I learned it at Hale Center Theater. Like they would play it at Hale.
I've never
When they
heard
get bored with acting, I'm like, what? How do you get bored? Commit your play, people.
Well, I was going to say that back to the ending, how not only was it moving because of the acting, but visually this whole show and that ending sequence was so like I have this, I love that picture, like the colors, the whole show was just visually stunning, and that end scene, Tony, so bravo to for the lighting on that.
And that was one of my favorite cues when he lit the psych.
Yes.
It turned on fire.
Yes.
It was
That
so
was
fun
a
to
series of I think it was 14 cues in about 8 seconds to create that. It was so
But
fun.
don't you think the audience was more impacted because they were on stage with us? Because they were on the risers right there with and could see their faces too?
I think so. I mean, I found that Les Mis, like when I see Les Mis, I like being up close because of the drama and the faces and stuff. I don't like being so far back.
Yeah.
I think that happened with Pippin too. The nice thing about Pippin, the dancing, you want to see the whole dancing, like Extraordinary was one of my favorite numbers. Just because it was the whole cast just having fun. Like, so
Should
good.
we watch it?
Yes, let's do.
Have it?
Wow.
All right, we'll watch this and then we'll switch out to other people. How about that? This is our ensemble break. All right, hold on. We're gonna try my my cool trick if it keeps working.
I'm so ready.
You're wearing the
Look like
Pippin.
you're at-
What is it?
Look at that cool trick.
Oh.
Oh, the handstand.
When you're extraordinary.
Oh no, the toe touch.
Got some extraordinary things. I'm not the type who loses sleep over the size of the compost heap. When you're extraordinary, you think about extraordinary things. Oh, I once knew a man, he lived each day the same, safe and sane and swell. And when they told me he died, I couldn't cry. All I could say was, how could they tell? Oh, in his life, deep in a rut, they give you a view of the sunshine, but it's unnecessary for someone who is very extraordinary like me. If the floorboards are squeaking and the doorboards are leaking and the chimney's in need of repair, if the garden has brambles and the yard is a shambles, well, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't care. I've got to be someone who lives all of his life in superlatives. I'm extraordinary. I gotta do extraordinary things. The fact that I'm special is easy to see. So why doesn't anybody see it but me? I'm extraordinary. Don't make me think about everyday things. They're so secondary to someone who is very extraordinary. Like me.
I forgot you jumped over my head.
You know, Jeff, I don't know how you do sing? You're like the coolest actor to work with, because especially with someone like me who loves to like do physical things with actors. And I remember thinking, is this too much? Are you okay doing this? And the cartwheel at the end, though, that was Jeff. He wanted to do the cartwheel on the box.
I felt so cool.
It's the breath.
What's that?
It's his good breath support.
He has great breath support. But even how he acts, he's got a great voice. But just you could hear him be like being so ornery and bratty about it. Ah, I love that.
I didn't realize how much I growled in it.
I love it.
Give me my wings.
Yeah.
Evelyn actually helped me.
Doing.
All right, I'm going to take some of you out so we can talk.
Yeah, Evelyn, she'll tell you about the choreography.
Good luck with finals, April.
I'm a very special choreography assistant, because I remember you showing the fish thing, like the fish ripple, and I'm like, I cannot do that. You know what I'm talking about?
The one where they were jumping, like Lydia nailed that one.
Like,
the like fish jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right there, Lydia. Lydia can do it.
Not in that number.
Lydia's
I
gonna
love
do it for you.
that
Ready? Yeah.
That's it.
But this is my favorite choreography.
I
Like,
know.
wiggle your butt.
I'm like, Abilene, come in my kitchen and help me choreograph. So I'm like, try this out. I'll experiment on Abilene. And I'm like, yes, that works. Okay, let's try this. And she helped me do that. And then Lydia actually helped me, because I was so worried about the Fosse choreography, but I was so excited to do it. It was super challenging. It was like West Side Story, just super, super challenging choreography. But so I had everything done before I even started TBC, because I was so worried. I wanted to make sure I had really great choreography for the kids. And so we went to Lake Powell, and Lydia would do choreography on the top of the house. And I'm like, yeah, try this. Okay, let's do that.
Aubrey.
Yep, Aubrey Sims helped out.
Fosse on the lake.
There's nothing better.
I love it. Okay, so you three, favorite moment in Pippin? And I'll put some pictures up while you talk.
The head.
Abrielle, why don't you start?
No, not me. Don't start with me.
Okay, Dallin or Abilene?
The tutting.
Ready? I'm in the enemy.
Where is the science?
Should we watch that?
Yes.
Army of the enemy is stationed on the hill, and we've got to get them down here, and this is how we will. Our men in the ravine, that's this area in green, will move across the valley where they plainly can be seen. The enemy in blue will undoubtedly pursue, for that's what you depend upon an enemy to do.
I love it.
I love watching Trenton in that video.
Watch from the side.
Watch the first few seconds again. Watch Trenton.
Army of the enemy is stationed on the hill, and we've got to get them down here, and this is how we will. Our men in the ravine, that's this area in green, will move across the valley where they plainly can be seen. The enemy in blue will undoubtedly pursue, for that's what you depend upon an enemy to do.
He was just mad because I put him in sparkles.
I can't see him. It
was very
your mic is
salty.
muted.
You have to unmute our mics for us to see it.
I know.
Put the mute thing
I
on.
unmuted some of you so you could see it, but you go back and watch it, or we'll send it to you, Abrielle. But it's hilarious. It's,
Well, and I should point out that a lot of times I like was thinking of things that I wanted, and I knew this tutting thing. Sarah had shown it to me and Abilene. And so I asked Sarah to take that little section and create, is it called tutting? Is that right? Tutting?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I asked Sarah before, I'm like, can you create a tutting sequence for me for this song? And so the kids actually got that a month before we even started Pippin. And I said, come knowing that, because it's too hard. You need to learn it before you get to TBC. So thank you, Sarah.
I love it.
We should talk about Sarah for just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we do the I Love You song? She said.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Can I tell you one funny story?
Please.
I played one trick on the cast. Only one trick on the cast. And this is the trick. This is the moment I played. Can we get Joff on for just a second?
Sure, I'm going to take one of you off. Joff!
Joff, do you remember this little trick I played on you and Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a kind of a rule for me about kissing is if they're willing to do it, then, I'll choreograph a kiss. But if they're not willing, they really are uncomfortable with it, then I'm like, it's probably not that important, in some shows for them to kiss. So Joff and Sarah were not comfortable with kissing each other. And so when they like each other, it just, we decided we probably wouldn't do this, right? But they never told me this. I just kind of felt this. So the night before I knew I was doing this, I re-choreographed, or I did fake choreography for it. And so I sat them both down and I said, okay, I think you guys are going to really like this. It's called it's the love song. And so it's super important to me. So the choreography went something like, and then you take her and then you give her a quick peck on the cheek. And then you do this, and then you kiss her on the lips for about 3 seconds. And then you do this, and you embrace her and kiss her for about 4. And then you do this, and then you kiss her on the forehead. And I think I worked in, 9 kisses for this song. And I could see their faces as I was telling them, trying to stay cool about it. And then at the end of the song, I'm like, are you guys ready? This is going to be so good. And they're both trying to be so professional and good about it. And then I'm like, I'm just kidding. You guys aren't kissing. This is fake. But
Yeah, that was terrifying.
I do funny jokes.
I love it. Here's their
Ballad.
I miss her though.
She was so good.
So good.
She was. And that's a part. Catherine is one of those parts where, what's her song at the end?
Or kind
This
of.
man.
What kind of woman? Sometimes you listen and you just go, whatever. But she was so enthralled, just the passion and the honesty that she, so good. So good.
Well, I had seen this one on Broadway with Rachel Bay Jones.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah. Did you see her?
No, but.
Okay, so I went and saw this before I even did Pippin, and I told her, I said, Sarah, I'm so sorry. That is one of the best performances I've seen by a female on stage ever. And because she had such genuineness, and Sarah brought her own genuineness to it too, and it was truly, truly beautiful. Just a shout out to Sarah too. She's killing it.
Yeah.
Up at Weaver State. She is like an Irene Ryan nominee. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's super cool in college. And she just got done playing 39 Steps, which only has 4 characters in it.
Wow.
Yeah, she's killing it at Weaver. So shout out.
That's so good. I saw her in that. It was really amazing.
Where are you?
We love you.
Look at
Come
her.
to us.
She called me. She got called into work and she didn't want to get fired. Something about needing a job, something like that.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Just
All right.
hope for unemployment.
I'm taking Joff out so we can bring back Abriel. Bye, Joff. All right. Who didn't say their favorite moments?
Probably everybody because
I didn't, but I found it out. I figured it out.
Go.
When I remember me and Brooklyn and Lydia being so thrilled to find out that we were pigs and extraordinary. It was so fun.
You were the best pigs.
It was so fun. And I think we were wearing little girls' leotards, but it worked and we looked super cute. So
You were committed to those. I remember even in rehearsal, you guys were like, "Can we wear our pig noses? Can we wear our pig ears?" I'm like, if it makes you happy, go ahead.
And you guys were the ones that I'd be like, I'm just watching the pigs. I should be watching Pippin or something, but you guys being all picky, and I was like,
Okay. Costuming the show, like I said, was such a delight. But one of my favorite delights was costuming Trenton in the rooster outfit.
The freaking chicken costume.
Yeah, if people didn't see it, that it was on the extraordinary part, so you can rewind it.
Yeah, he was pretty mad. We had a misunderstanding. I gave him his costume, and it was just
I'm the only one who could.
What?
I'm sorry, you just cut out for a good minute. So I did not hear anything you just said.
Anyway, Trenton's costume was so funny. He went and tried it on, but he didn't understand. I was assuming it would be a shirt underneath this rooster vest thing, but he came out without anything.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, if that's the way he wants to wear it, that's fine with me. And I mean, it looks fine. And so at the end, he's like, why did you make me wear that without a shirt? I'm like, oh, I thought you wanted to because that's how you tried it on.
I made me so mad.
It was a good-looking chicken.
So Trenton. So Trenton.
You know what? He got a lot of numbers off of that part, just so you know.
I am sure he did. I think he gets a lot of numbers anyway. So.
Yeah, he does.
It's Trenton.
Abilene, did you tell us your favorite part?
My favorite part of this show, I don't even know. I just know I had a good old time learning all the choreography and like it was just the best. And I love doing Magic to Do still. Magic to Do just pops up in my everyday life every so often, and what a joy it is. Oh my goodness.
I'll go like this all the time.
I love it.
Yep.
It's because the choreography goes so well to every song. So
I love it. All right, Dallin, favorite part?
I would say, besides watching Sarah each night backstage, Slay, I think it was I Guess I'll Miss the Man. Because I was her son, so I just get to watch her backstage and cry. That was so fun. But I don't know if you remember this. I think it was Adam Willis. There was a night, and you guys were on stage for the finale, and me and Sarah are on stage. And he comes up to Sarah and I, holding Joff's vest. And he's like, do they need this? Where does this go? And I was like, they need that in like 15 seconds. It's like, they're about to open that box and the vest is supposed to be there. And he was a pro. And he's crawling behind the set. And then I forget who opens the box, but I'm pretty sure how they explained it was when they
Brooklyn. Brooklyn Allison.
Brooklyn, when she opened the box, Adam's just there like, and it was like a fantastic save because that vest just adds so much color and life to the finale. And he was just so excited to do it right on time. It was the coolest thing. He was a superhero.
That was such a good moment.
Crazy. That was like so crazy.
That was one of my favorite parts for you, just putting it out there. And Abilene, your head, I'm sorry, your head was so cool. She was just a head. The name of the party was head. But Prayer for a Duck. I love Prayer for a Duck. Joff hated it so much. Bring Joff down. Joff, come back.
I'm back.
Prayer for a Duck. Tell us about it.
Oh, what a joy that was to be.
You ended up loving it.
No, you're right. You're right. I totally love that song, and it's partly because I got to share the stage with Dallin for like 90 seconds of bliss. But that song is just stupid.
Well, Dallin was so cute because he had to play a little boy part. It's normally played by a little boy, but we were using the TBC kids, so Dallin had to play down this little kid part. And of course, he's like, "How tall are you? Like 5'10", 5'11"? Yeah, Prayer for a Duck. And but he did it so great. Like you totally believe he was like 10 years old. It was so cute. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about. I'm like hyper because I'm so excited about Pippin. I'm so sorry. But I have to say how cool Pippin was. We had a live band, you guys. Not only did we do this in 3 weeks, we did it with a live band. Michelle Willis!
Woo! Yeah. They were awesome.
So good.
So fun.
Not easy music either to play.
No, and it's really important in Pippin that you have live musicians. That's part of the story.
Yeah.
At the end, when Tevin's like, "Get your hands off the keyboard," and
Yeah. Let's see where. Oh, Michelle said when Tevin would come and bang on the piano at the end of the show, it was hard not to laugh because he would be so apologetic after. I'm sorry, I'm yelling in your face. And
what a sweetheart.
It goes to show how good of a person Tevin actually is.
Oh, he's so good. Such a good kid. And he's killing it at the U, everybody. Tevin's up there rocking up at the U. It's so...
I saw him in like Dracula or something earlier this year. It was awesome.
I'm missing him on stage. You need to tell me when he's doing stuff. I want to go see it. Hey, Job, speaking of Tevin, how about that On the Right Track choreography?
Oh, yes.
Kind of the same story as Into the Fire. We both were like, we can't do this because Tony pulled a lot of the Broadway choreography.
Not the Broadway, the new revival, the old one, because it was harder.
Yeah. See my point? And so we were just super intimidated. Both of us had done Fosse before, though, in TBC. And so luckily, like, we had the foundation of a kind of basic understanding of that style of dance. And so really it was just figuring out how to actually contort your body to do the thing that you do in it. But it ended up being like one of my favorite scenes. And I wish that I still knew the choreography because it was just so fun. I still do like the foot thing, the crisscross foot thing. That took me all 3 weeks to learn how to do.
You guys worked so hard. I remember the first time you guys finally did it clean. Like you didn't make it, especially this part where you're reaching, you're like, pow, pow,
oh yeah.
Pow, pow. And then you did it right. We were all like,
yeah.
And Tessa, I have to say that if Fosse were reincarnated as a person, I think it might be Tessa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an honor.
Heaven is a Fosse machine.
Okay, y'all. I was gonna say let's talk lessons learned from Pippin. This will be our wrap up. Like, you know, we've been talking about theater all these weeks, and it's been great. But what is the thing that we learned or that you learned from Pippin, the story? Because we already touched on it. It's this allegory. It tells. I mean, it has probably many lessons that we can learn.
That's an allegory.
Yeah. What did you learn from Pippin? Anybody? I haven't learned anything.
There's a lot to learn from Pippin, but I think what I learned backstage is I didn't expect it to be such a story of love. And watching Tony direct it was how I learned it. Because I think sometimes, well, I don't think, I know. The actors in the shows don't see the sacrifice that she makes to honor the story and to honor them. And so I learned the most about Pippin by watching her direct it, because it was a labor of love for her and a gift to the kids in the way she did it. And just the story itself talking about, well, it doesn't talk about it, it just shows it, that you don't recognize beauty necessarily or truth, and that there are sometimes people in your life that try to use you and that try to make you or define you, like the leading player did and the players would do to Pippin. And really, truly, we all have to learn our own truth and who we're going to be. And it was beautiful because these kids were that age where they were deciding who they were going to be anyway. And we just love them so much. And after working with them for years and the new ones that came too, sorry.
I just muted her. All right, so I guess Aaron's thought is over.
It was a good thought, though. I like it.
Anybody else? What'd you learn from Pippin?
I have something.
Down.
This show just causes so much self-reflection. I think it makes you really think, well, how does my life relate to Pippin? And it taught me a lot about self-worth, because Pippin does a lot of things to try and find where his place is in life. And so I just learned so much about myself through doing this show, and just learned that the simple things in life are what brings joy, what brings happiness. Just being, obviously, I don't want to spoil the ending, so I won't spoil it. But just being,
we all know the ending.
Being with people you love is just the best feeling, and I think I felt that every night performing with this amazing cast led by Tony and Aaron. You just learn a lot about love and the importance of it.
I love that.
Definitely.
Anybody else?
I'll piggyback on that and also on what Aaron said, because it surprised me how much I did see love in the story as well, and that Pippin like truly finds it at the end. But it took me like a really long time to figure out why it takes him so long. Like, if I was in Pippin's shoes, I would have like, oh, look at this girl, you know? Like, I don't think I would have gone to the extreme that he did and follow the leading player everywhere, you know? And trying to figure out why he would do that. It's like, it also helped me understand that I can't understand why he didn't. Like, I can't understand his perspective always and other people's perspective always. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm glad I'm not just talking in circles. That made sense to me.
Yeah. I kind of hoped too when I was, the directing, kind of my wish for these kids too. Well, one, to create I wanted them to really feel what a really hard theater experience, the reward of doing something that's really, really difficult and telling a story that is so beautiful. And I think that the cast really discovered that they loved it. They loved Pippin the way I hoped that they would. And I loved it the way that I hoped I would too. But in the message of it too is I hope that a lot of times you think you have to be something more. You have to be something grander. You have to be a Broadway star to be something, to be anything cool. These big aspirations of to define who you are and your worth. And I hope that they took from it that it's the simple thing, that's finding the power in yourself. It's celebrating those simple things in yourself and the simple things around you. The ordinary things. Like I love Jeff said exactly like I loved saying it, is that you find the extraordinary in the ordinary. And you are, all these kids, every single one of them are extraordinary. And Aaron and I, man, I don't know how to love, hug you guys enough. Because we care about you guys so much. Even right now, you TBC kids that might be watching, it was fun going through every single one of you. There was 135 kids that have been through TBC so far. Wow. And we just love you. We love you. We hope you're doing well. We hope that theater touched you in a way that you'll remember, that it'll help you in your life, not just in theater.
Thank you so much for coming and working so hard and sharing yourself with us. It changed us. And we learned every year too.
Mm-hmm. And I think it has. Sorry, Don, I talked over you.
Aaron.
I love that. I love the simple joys. Looking for the simple. We're in a time of being simple and being okay with being, not busy and not, doing extraordinary things necessarily, right? And being okay with that. I love that message. Y'all, this has been so fun.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, John.
Just in honor of TBC, because we were talking about Pippin for a long time, but just TBC in general is like taught me more about myself and about theater than probably anything else in my entire life. Like I only spent 15 weeks of my life there. But it was so impactful because of the friendships that were built and the relationships that are made and just the personal exploration that you get from playing 6 different parts in 3 weeks. Like everything you find out about yourself in it is, I've just found completely invaluable. And I can't thank Tony and Aaron enough for it.
Thanks, John.
So for all those that are watching, thinking about doing TBC, do it. Okay.
Yes.
If we haven't convinced you, do it, okay?
Especially if you're a boy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm like thinking I might we have 5 more spots for boys, and I'm kind of debating just opening it up and let the girls have those spots. Boys.
Do it.
I know.
All right, boys, get on it if you want your spot. Y'all, this was so fun. Thanks for talking about TBC and Pippin. Who knows? Let's do another one. We might be here for a while. Let's do another Pippin.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take some of you off so that some people can say bye, but will you help me wave goodbye? I'm going to bring some people off.
Mwah. Mwah.
Bye, Ellen. Bye,
Mwah.
Don't worry.
Bye,
Bye, April.
She's studying.
Bye. See you later.
Rosie. Oh.
Morning